Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's video is more like a demonstration type video. I mentioned a while back that I would probably show how I prep my practice hand. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've seen some videos out there that shows like people are glue their nail tips to their silicone, and I don't do that. Just because, you know, within time the glue can tear up the silicone. It can break it down, and then eventually you're having to spend more money to replace the hand. So I thought this would be a good video for anyone out there that is just got theirs, and if you come across my video, maybe it might save you some money in the long run. So this right here is a half hand that I purchased off from Aliana hand. Yeah, Aliana hand. And it is their Annalise Lifelite Posable in the color Summer. And I've had it for a few months now, and I use this every day. Like, at least a couple times a day I'm practicing nonstop with this hand, and I also use it for photos. So she's held up quite well, like very well. So this is how I prep her. That way, you know, because it is kind of like an investment for me for this brand, and they're not real cheap. But I didn't want to, you know, spend that much money on her and then, you know, her tear up. So this is how I do mine, and I will link everything in the description box like usual. So first thing I do is you need a nail bed, right? And if you don't have to necessarily do this part, you could just go in with a full cover tip and go if you want to do it that way. But I where I'm a beginner and I'm practicing, I kind of want the actual full feel of maybe like a real hand, so to say. It's the only lifelike hand I have right now, a real hand, is mine and my daughter's. Other than that, you know, I have this right here to rely on. So I get these tips from Amazon. They're not real expensive at all. And these are what I use for the nail bed, the imitation of the nail beds. And so once you get those, you want to size them out. And with this particular brand, their cuticle, the pockets for the cuticle are pretty deep. I know some of the cheaper hands, the cuticles ain't that, you know, are real thin and doesn't go back in real far. So that might be some of the reasons why they are gluing them. But with this one, the silicone around the cuticle are pretty thick. And the pockets, as you can see, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is what the nail tips look like. Let me see. I gotta make sure I'm in frame. Okay, they look like that. So normally you would put them on this way, right? Well, I use the tip in right here, and that's where I insert it into the fingers, just like that, because I like how it's got this curve, and it saves me time from having to file the other end. And as you can see there, when I'm pushing it in, that's how far it goes in there. And yeah, so that's what it looks like. So I don't put it in that far just because I don't want to damage this part with like any like filing or anything like that. So I pull it out just a little bit, give it a little bit of length, and it's in there. It doesn't move or anything. That's all I do. I do not glue these to the silicone. I don't do that because, like I mentioned, within time of constantly gluing and then soaking or whatever they're doing, it will break the silicone down and then it start tearing. You don't want that to happen, because then eventually it's not going to hold the nail tips, and then you are going to have to replace your hand. So then I'm going to go ahead and just put all these in there. And I apologize, my allergies are kicking my butt this week. it's been raining last couple of days too, so that really does not help. Okay, so that's what they look like. Just like that. So then, I'm going to put this to the side. So this is where I will get my drill. You don't necessarily have to use a drill. You can just go in with a buffer. But I will buff off the shine off these, just like you would on a natural nail. I'm going to put at a low speed. And then I just go, and you want to be, if you're using a drill, you still want to be careful. Even if you have this hand, you still want to be careful because it's still, even though it's thicker than most, it's still delicate around here. So you just want to be very gentle. And then I just do it just like this. Am I in frame? I hope so. Okay. Just like that. I just rough up mainly towards the middle, and I just work my way down. In an angle. Just like that. That's all I do. Now, just set that off a minute. Okay, so then what I do too, I just do this step here. You don't have to do this, but I do this because, like I said, I am a beginner. I'm trying to learn, and I want to keep in the order that you would do if you were working on a real client. So I go in after I buff the shine off. I go in with a primer. I don't do the dehydrator because this isn't real, and there's no it doesn't produce oil. So I just go straight in with the primer. And I just go over just a real thin coat. Just like that. And I moved my camera setup on my desk, so I'm hoping this angle is a little bit better than it was in my last video. I really didn't like how I wasn't centered. So I'm hoping this is better. So that's all I do. I let that dry a little bit. Wait, nope, I put that back and I still need it. Okay, once that's dry, I go ahead with any nail tips that I'm wanting to use. If you're going in with, say, half tips, you know what I mean, has a well for like acrylic or jelly, polygel, or a gel application, then you would get those out. But I'm going to use full cover tips for right now. And then I've already know what sizes I use, so I'm going to go ahead and get those out. So I got those out right there. Oh, get back in there. Okay. Set those to the side as well. Okay. So what I do is, with these, I will take the primer, and these are not etched, so I take the primer and I just go in and apply some primer right where it would attach to the nail bed, and that just helps it'll break down this plastic a bit, and it will help the adhesion better. And then it saves me from having to go in here and etch it with a file or my drill or anything like that. So once I do that, I'm done with the primer. I put it away. And then to adhere these, let's see, make sure I got these in order. Okay, so way I adhere these to the nail beds, I go in, I have two different items I use. It depends on what kind of look I'm going for, or which one I really grab first, really. I have this one from Beetles. It's called Nail Glue for nail tips. It's just a clear. Or I have this one from Nail Couture. It's his press-on gel, and it's in the color pink. So for you know, for this demonstration, I'll just go in with Enamel Couture's. That way you could pretty much see better than just the clear, because I know I have white, and then these are kind of white. So I just go in, just take it, scoop some in there. Now before I put it on my nail, I do need to get my little light, and I'll link this too. This is really handy. I am so happy I did this purchase for this light, because it has really gave me the opportunity to have both my hands ready and available to use. Let's see, where am I gonna, oops, I'll just put it here. Okay, so it's right here. Pretty much it has a clip on the other end, and it's a USB cord, and it's a curing lamp, like a flash cure lamp. So what I do is I'll turn it on to get it ready. I'll raise it up a bit so that way. So then I just put it in an angle, go down a bit, hold it, and then I move it to the light. Just for a few seconds. And then I let it sit there for a minute while I prep the other nail. And once I get that ready, I do the same thing. This might need a little bit more, so let me add just a little bit more. You definitely want to make sure this is not in the area of where the light's shining, because you don't want to cure nothing. Okay, so I go in like this. Same thing. Push it down slowly, and then move it to the light. And then hold it there for a few seconds. And sit there, and then I just move on to the next ones. And this is basically all I do. I don't glue nothing. I glue nothing to the silicone at all. Hold it. See what I mean? As far as like with this little lamp here, you have both hands free. And then the last one. Slowly. Then let it cure. Let that sit for a second. And then what I do is, to give it a full cure, I will put it in my big lamp for 30 seconds. And that's all I do. Now, like I said, you don't have to use these. You most definitely do not. You can go straight in with, you know, like a full cover, like one of these. You can just put them in there and then you're good to go. But I just like having the feel of working on a real hand, kind of. And yeah, so that's why I end up using these and then the other ones. But you will need these if you go in with half cover tips, because you got to have something to glue them to, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is what they look like. And then I just go in, depending on what type of application I'm doing. If I'm using some type of like a gel or like a builder gel, you would want to buff these. But since, you know, it's not a real hand, sometimes I go straight in just with gel polish. But yeah, that's all I do. And when I'm done, I pull them out just like that, and I save them. I don't throw these away. These shows my progress. So I have a bucket that I throw all my work in when I'm done with them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a bigger bucket. It's starting to fill up. But yeah, this is all I do. Like I said, it was just a demonstration. I hope this helps somebody, especially if you go across one of those videos and it says they tell you that they glue. It depends probably what kind of hand. If you do have one of those like AliExpress hands, where the cuticle only goes in maybe that far, then it's a possibility you probably won't have another choice but to glue them. But they are some good hands on Amazon that are not expensive. And I will link the one that I very first bought that has really deep, pretty good pockets just like this one. And you don't have to glue nothing to the silicone. You just do this, and then you pop them out when you're done. So I hope this helps somebody. It wasn't that long, but yeah, stay tuned. I got a couple other videos lined up that I'm editing right now, and I will catch you then. Bye.